the Sportsline Podcast on the CHCHN Parent Media Platform. I'm Bubba O'Neil. Our prime directive, speaking to and sometimes uncovering the many amazing sports stories that hail from Southern Ontario, and in particular, the Golden Horseshoe. Well, we spoke to athletes, officials, coaches, executives, and in today's case, we'll be speaking about a sport that has changed its face. At one time, the thought of women playing tackle football was seen by many as out of bounds. Well, since 2009, the Women's Football Alliance opened doors to female athletes across the United States. Now, tackle football is being played right here in our country. And breaking that barrier locally are the women's Jr.Ticats. Let's bring in head coach Sierra McPhail and player Trinity Coolan. This is awesome. Thanks for joining us on the Sportsline Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
I want to, first of all, there's so much to talk about, so much to digest, so much to introduce to people from a player perspective and, of course, from a coaching perspective. But let's talk about what's going on in Calgary right now, guys. Like, this is a national championship, and Ontario is in the final. You guys are looking great. You got to be, whether it's not so much your team, but on a national, representing.
For sure. With knowing a lot of the coaches on that staff and a lot of the athletes, including one of our own, Athena, we are so excited for the girls to be competing at such a high level, and we think they're going to take home the gold again.
They're really a dominant squad. What are you seeing from this squad that are so good?
Like good teamwork and like connections that they all have working together.
Big offense, defense, that they run the ball. In fact, they have a girl by the name of Porter, is her last name? Mm-hmm. She's unbelievable. I mean, she's 100-yard games every game. Like, she's that good.
Yeah, honestly, like, that team already has so many stacked players, from girls that play in the OWFL that we coach and play in, and I think it's a really good group this year, for sure. Yeah,
and I've been kind of watching them from play each game, and this one against Saskatchewan, I could not believe the big plays offensively. And we always talk about this, you know, you as coach, winning in all three aspects: offense, defense, special teams. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, they are just unbelievable playing in all three aspects.
For sure, especially considering all three of those spots in football. You always think, oh, like, you need a good offense, you need a good defense. Special teams is a big one too. Special teams is one of my favorite parts of football, and it's really insane to watch, and she's an insane special teams player herself. So
when you, before this tournament even started, when you weighed the competition in Ontario against many of the other provinces, were Ontario expected to do well?
Yes, for sure, especially after last year. We had two teams in the tournament, the national tournament. I actually coached Team Black, which was the second team that we entered, and Team Red, the original team, they won the gold last year. So everybody's looking out for them this season, for sure.
How coachable are these individuals, these athletes?
Very coachable. I've coached boys football, girls football, co-ed, flag, touch, tackle, and honestly, the girls have been probably the most coachable that I've had the privilege of coaching. But especially those Team O girls and the Jr.Ticats, I've had a great experience with the girls.
You've got one of your representatives of the Jr.Ticats playing on this team. Want to tell me a little bit about your teammate that I saw, and we got some video of her. She's making some big hits.
Yeah, Athena's a great player. She's great offensive, defense, and just like an all-around like good teammate. She's always supporting everyone.
Tell me about this player from a defensive standpoint.
Athena is a dog. She is awesome. I've coached Athena for a very long time, starting with flag football at Soccer World in Hamilton, and she was always very quiet at first, but she was making some of the biggest catches, making some of the biggest hits once I've seen her play tackle, and she is an outstanding player all around. Like, she played both ways for us this season, and she's a dog on both sides, so she's awesome.
Where do you find the intensity? Like, is it easy to motivate these women, these young athletes on the football field?
I would say it's pretty easy to motivate them. Obviously, the stereotypical thing is girls are a little more emotional than the boys. So we had a lot of tears this season, but a lot of them were happy tears. But the girls very much voiced back to myself and my coaching staff that they were very much appreciative of our coaching skills and what we had to offer to them. So I think that really showed in their performance that they were very coachable. So.
Because this was your first year, right? On the teams of the Jr.Ticats team on a women's basis.
Yeah, this is our first season for the women's Jr.Ticats. Besides that, I was always with the boys with the Jr.Cats or with Team Ontario.
How was your first year?
It was awesome. It was so much fun. I had a great time.
Why did you have a good time?
Well, like everyone was just so like uplifting and always there for each other, and like it was just awesome. Like the coaches were great, the teammates, like my teammates were amazing, and like we had some good plays, and yeah.
Let me throw this to both of you, and I'll come right back to you, Trinity. There are so many sports out there to play, whether it's an individual sport in tennis and golf. You know, women's hockey has been pretty big over the years. Soccer, obviously. Why football?
Like, it was just such, like, I started like 2 years ago, and like it's just like everyone's always there for each other, and like you can have big plays or you can have like little plays that still do a lot for like, so you're always doing something no matter what.
What position do you play?
I'm like a wide receiver and running back.
Oh, you do it all, right?
Like,
That,
yeah.
You said special teams as well, too.
Yeah.
Outstanding. And, Coach, I'll come to you on this. And obviously your background has been a little bit more defined. How does someone go from being people are going to be surprised about this, maybe, a Hamilton Tiger-Cat Jr. cheerleader to where you are today?
Yeah, I went from shaking my little gold pom-poms to now yelling at these girls on the sidelines while they get to play. It's been an insane experience. I moved to Hamilton when I was in grade 1 from more like the Mississauga area, Brampton area, and I took my parents to our first Thaiat game. I think we got tickets through my elementary school, and my dad and my mom saw the cheerleaders on the field, and I always used to dance around the house as a kid, and they told me that they could see me doing that one day. And from the age of 11 to 18, I was a junior cheerleader. So I basically grew up in a football stadium. So while I was shaking my pom-poms and running in and out of the field, I was watching the game, and I fell in love with it. And I never really got a chance to play it when I was younger. I was gonna play on the boys team at my old high school, Sierra McPhail, and I ended up just volunteering with the team because I was still cheerleading, and moved on to college. I went to Humber for sport management, and then next thing you know, I'm getting a job at the Thaiat Stadium. So now I'm working in game day production there, and throughout high school till up until now, I picked up coaching. Like I said, I've done boys, girls, and now I'm actually back in McNabb as well, which is pretty cool. We just won a D2 championship, which was amazing, and now we made it to a Tier 3 championship with these girls. So a lot of highs and lows, but you never think a girl would go from being a cheerleader to a football coach. So
What do you think about your coach?
She's awesome.
Pressure's on.
Trinity is one of my biggest cheerleaders on the team. She's got me doing more TikToks than anything. But I want to be these girls' biggest cheerleader as well. So that's something I took from that experience, and I'm taking into my coaching role too. So I'm still always losing my voice for them cheering on the sidelines. So
Do you even realize what you're doing in terms of breaking barriers and and I'm not just trying to blow up your tires here, but honestly here of what you're doing in terms of not only mentorship but showing the way, showing what the strength of women and what they can do. Also, and I did my research, gaining the respect that you had for your players. And I'm talking about the boy players as well too. Do you realize what you're kind of doing, or is that something you'll think about later in life?
I do acknowledge it throughout like my whole coaching career, and there's times where I don't really realize it until maybe one of them shoot me a nice message on Instagram, or they're inviting me to their other games and sports. A lot of them have become like little sisters and little brothers to me, as well as my coaches have been like big brothers, or even like parental like figures as well. Like I've had kids that I've coached where their parents might be on the staff, including our staff. Trinity's dad, Brian, is actually one of our coaches too, and it's been really awesome to grow these relationships with the girls, and I love them. They're the best family besides my actual family, obviously.
What was it about football that attracted you? And yes, you said you were watching on the sidelines. That was at Tim Hortons Field, watching the games played, watching our football heroes on the field. But what was it about the game that appealed to you?
Yeah, so I've always played team sports growing up, from basketball, volleyball, ultimate frisbee, all the fun sports, and I always loved being a leader, but I also loved being with a fun group of girls or boys in that case, and I find that it was just awesome to see people grow such a love for each other and be there for each other. And I found sports were always a really good thing for me if I was ever going through a tough time. And football was a really interesting sport to me because it was both aggressive, where you can let out your anger a little bit, and it was also so exciting. Like, Even on the Tiger Cats, I have guys I've gone to school with, like Tyler Chernowski, and I watched him play with my brother at McNabb. I also coach at U of Waterloo now as well, and he went there, and now I get to watch him pursue a dream playing for the Ticats. It's just cool having different relationships, from coaching to watching just for enjoyment to having friends play, right? So I get a lot of enjoyment of watching all those aspects in football.
There have to have been some challenges along the way.
Oh, for sure.
Tell me about them.
Obviously, the typical stereotype of girls can't do things boys can do. That goes for playing and coaching. Even having all people walks of life kind of doubt women in sports. There's a lot of popular sports going on. Like you said, women's hockey's grown up really big. Now there's the Women's League, the PWHL, and I think it's awesome to see all these women breaking barriers. And I, as well, have dealt with a lot of insecurities with that and feeling like I'm not good enough. But I have so many people behind me in my corner pushing me to continue to break these barriers. So I would say I owe it a lot to my athletes, my family, my friends, for where I am today, because I've had some tough times, but I see what it's doing for the community, and I think I just got to keep doing that because it's working for me. So.
There's Football Canada, Football Ontario. We've had Emily Todd on here a couple of times, who's obviously an executive with the Ontario side of things, and I've seen the growth of touch or tag football, and right now we're at this point where women's football is really, really growing. This has got to be impressive for you, as I don't know if it's a professional dream for you or whatever, but at least an avenue to continue playing the sport.
Yeah, it's just like awesome. I don't know, like.
Yeah, and I say that only because, yeah, as you said, there were so many other options.
Yeah.
But football is your choice, is it not?
Yeah.
Is it because of your dad?
No, like he got into helping because like the girls' teams didn't have a lot of coaches, so he came to help us so we could play.
Yeah.
So that alone is a challenge in itself, has it not been? But is that lightening up a little bit as well too?
It is. I definitely found that I thought I was going to have a lot easier team recruiting staff for my team until I realized, yes, I know 100 different football coaches, but they're committed to so many other teams, and I myself can be a part of that too, because I coach about 3 or 4 different teams at a time, between Waterloo, Jr.Ticats, McNabb. And I love it, obviously, but it's really hard to have that commitment. And it's tough, too, because there's not much money in sports. So some people look at it as a job, some people look at it as a hobby, and it's my passion. So I pick up 3-4 part-time jobs outside of football to be able to pursue this career. And having her dad, Brian, as well as a few other parents, and some of my best friends come out and coach was very beneficial. I'm very tight with my staff, which I really appreciated. They had my back the whole time. And they love the girls, so we had a really good time with that.
What's the future? I don't know. Is there an end goal for yourself? Do you see yourself as somewhere where you say, I want to be there in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? For
sure. I have a very wide variety of interest in sports. So, like I said, I work in game day production with the Ticats. I've done managerial positions for the Junior Cats to coaching. Obviously, it'd be a dream to coach professional football in the NFL. Even the CFL would be awesome. I'm very tight-knit with a lot of coaches in the CFL, too, specifically the Ticats, so I've gotten a little bit of an inside scoop sometimes when I can, but I hope to make it to the big leagues one day, but I'm kind of open to any type of job that comes my way. I've taken a lot of part-time jobs in sport to just get it on my resume, so I stand out a little bit more, and yeah, I'm kind of more open-minded, but I do hopefully to see a professional sports career in my future.
And I think that door is opening. I really do believe that door is opening. Sometimes it takes the other sports for it to happen. We're certainly seeing it in basketball, where I think we're right on the verge of a women's head coach. Like, I think it's the closest, in my opinion. I think basketball, it's right there.
I agree, and I actually went to high school with Shea, the one that just won the MVP award, and he's a phenomenal leader for our city, and I definitely think seeing like the growth in women's basketball as well with like the new league, and I think we're getting a Toronto team, Toronto Tempo. Toronto is going to be blowing up with more women's sports besides just hockey, and I'm excited for it for sure.
I think we should be all excited for it, and I think what I see, again, the growth of it, and it always seems to start in the United States, but I had to do a little research about this Women's Football Alliance. Right as we speak right now, This is a 60-team operation across the United States, broken down into 3 different leagues, and the national championships are being played as we speak in the 3 divisions, with the final being held tomorrow on, I guess actually Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN. Like, there's somewhere to go here.
Yeah, for sure. And the nice thing too about football is there's different types of football. So flag obviously has become really big, and it's going to the Olympics. And Trinity herself, she plays flag football too. So the one difficult thing we found was getting girls to come play tackle, but a lot of our players on our tackle team do play flag, which is awesome. I love to see that that's growing as well.
Why did you go from flag to tackle?
I actually started with tackle.
Oh!
I just did flag to like keep with something on the off season that's related to football.
Well, you got to do some recruiting. You got to get some women playing, more
And
women
she's
on your
still
team.
playing both right now. Yeah,
that's incredible. And that's your aerobics. That's your workout, right? It's amazing that you're out there doing that. Yeah. Now with this WFA, I hear that they're making inroads and looking at Winnipeg as their first expansion team. Okay, nothing against Winnipeg. Nothing against the province of Manitoba for those that are listening. But, I mean, that could actually happen here in Ontario, could it not?
Oh, it definitely could. I definitely think we have so much interest in football here in Hamilton, in Ontario. It's just tough, like I said, with other girls playing other sports. So it's just trying to get through to them to come out and play more. But I definitely think we have the numbers and the interest in our province to create a bigger league here as well.
Coach, I want to veer off somewhere here that, and I'm going to challenge you a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Like
Love a challenge.
Okay. I mean, everything's going real well for the 4-2 Hamilton Tiger-Cats right now. But what would be if you said, okay, I'm going to go replace Scott Milanovic as the offensive coordinator? Like, what is it that you would want to do if Bob Young says we're going to hire you as a coach right now? What would you want to do?
So growing up, I've always had a huge soft spot for special teams and receivers. It's actually kind of cool. Up in Waterloo last season, my first season, I was assistant special teams coordinator to Coach Jerome, who's one of my biggest heroes now. He's one of my besties. And then I was also assistant offensive coach. And this season, I'm moving into assistant running backs. So I'm trying to be the most versatile coach I can be, learn a little bit of everything, and that's something I took on as a challenge myself this year. But special teams definitely has my heart right now. I love it the most because you get to work with almost everybody on the team. So you're not just with one position. And I'm a very personal coach where I like building relationships with all my players. And you're always going to have ones that don't want to be as close to you, or they are more like closer to other positional coaches, where special teams, I feel like I'm pretty close with all the teams. So if I had to go coach the Ticats, I obviously would try to be a sponge, but I'd also try to help out with the best ability that I can. But special teams is where it's at for me.
It's got to be fun watching the team right now too. I mean, I know what I do here, here at CHCH, and also with the Ticats on the audio network. And boy, they're having a real fun year. Do you like watching them, like the actual Ticats themselves?
Yeah, I enjoy watching them. They're fun to watch.
They are. They're fun. Well, they weren't fun to watch for a little while there, but
we're actually going to be getting an appearance soon. We're trying to arrange a date where our team goes out at pregame to play a little game of touch. So the girls will hopefully be making appearances this season, and I'm there every home game. I actually have a pretty unique role. I get to be Pigskin Pete's spotter. So yeah, I'm Pigskin Pete's right-hand man right now. So if you ever see me at a Ticat game, you'll see me doing Oski wee-wees with them. But yeah, it's a really fun experience being on the sideline of games, even just getting to enjoy it. So that stadium is my second home. So
well, I'm gonna have to get your perspective here, because where I am, for game days, I'm up top, or either up top as a media guy, or on the fourth floor with the audio network. You're down on the turf. What is that like, especially like on a day like Labor Day or something like that, when it is
Labor Day Classic.
Ram Jam? What is it like looking up and seeing all those people?
It is honestly so surreal, and Pigskin gets a little upset with me sometimes because all my athletes are in the stands and they're calling my name and not his sometimes. But it's so awesome being down there. It kind of reminds me of my cheerleading days because I'm right on the sideline with them, and it's kind of cool too. I get to interact with the refs who actually ref a lot of my high school games and our girls' games. So I feel right at home at the Thaiat Stadium with so many connections, and I love being down there. I am there every game day, and I love it. It's my favorite day of the week.
Well, I'll be looking for you now.
Awesome.
We did touch on this a little bit, but I'd like to expand a little bit on it. PWHL, the WNBA soon coming here, but just on the whole, I mean, women's MMA, women's boxing, tennis and golf, which have been around for a long time. But the fact that these sports and women's sports has become a big deal, and I've said this on this podcast before, if I were to win Lotto 649, I would slap $1 million down on something to do with women's sports, because I think the growth is, I don't even know if it's where it can be.
Yeah.
From someone your age that's seen it come so far away, what are your thoughts about it?
Honestly, I think there's so many big trailblazers in women's sports right now that are trying to get this movement going, and I agree. If I had the money too, I would do everything I can to make women's sports even bigger than what it is. I look up to huge role models like Ilona, that rugby player that was on Dancing with the Stars, and Jessica Campbell in the NHL, and I hope to be a woman like that one day in a professional atmosphere. But I definitely think that this is only the beginning for women's sports, and I definitely think we're going to have a women's tackle football league blow up in Canada, and I definitely think this is only the beginning, so I'm excited.
Do you appreciate? I mean, because of your age, right? You're coming in a time where it's I don't want to say accepted, but I will use the word accepted, and respect to that on Coach, right? But it's just not a big deal anymore. But there was a time that it was a real big deal. How do you feel, like, again, playing what's deemed as a guy's sport?
It feels like awesome to know that I'm breaking down a barrier stuff, and like just like everyone that's done everything to like get where I am today is just awesome.
And maybe to your girlfriends too, I'm sure, right? I'm sure they look at it that way as well too.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here? Now, do you personally, like, I mean, as we talked about some of your future goals as well too, like, could you see yourself being an executive as well too?
I definitely would hope so. Like I said, I try to be as much of a sponge and be as versatile as I can. So I would love to pursue any kind of role. And it's awesome, like I said, being a leader to these young girls, hoping that they would also pursue the same. Because not only can you coach football, play football, but you can work anywhere else in football. And I'm noticing more and more, I'm seeing it all over social media, that you can be a manager, you can be a social media team person, like you can do everything. And someone I really look up to in a bigger league is Max Crosby. He's my favorite NFL player, and he's got like the Mad Max mentality, and he started from going through a tough time in his life to being one of the best players, in my opinion, in the NFL, and I want to follow that kind of mentality in my coaching career and just being a leader. So I definitely see myself making it one day. So
would you go to the States if that's
100%.
Okay.
I love Canada. I would hopefully love to pursue a career in Canada. I actually had the privilege a few years ago of doing a kids camp with the Buffalo Bills in Niagara, which was really cool. We were there with Marlon Kerner. He was really awesome to work with. But I definitely would love to pursue any kind of career open to me, and if that means going to the States, working with an NFL team or a college team, I think I would definitely take the opportunity.
I don't embarrass you, but can you list every job you've done?
Oh my
every
gosh.
football job you've done.
Football job, okay, that narrows some jobs down.
Okay, sports job. Lay them all out. I want to hear. This is amazing. And I hope the people that are looking at your resume are listening right now.
Oh, I hope so too. So I started off coaching flag football, I believe. So my first job outside of sports was working in Limeridge Mall at Champ Sports. So still a sports-related store. And then I started coaching flag football at Soccer World. I did a little bit of soccer coaching, baseball training, all that. We did sports camps. We did nature camps. I'm still very much affiliated with them, which I love. A lot of my athletes, including Athena from the Team O team, she played there for me. Soccer World. I'm a server. That's how I make my money from day to day. I've worked for the Thaiats for the last few years. I've done a lot of volunteer coaching with the Jr.Ticats. One of my biggest mentors, Vinny, he's the head coach of the U14 team. He brought me into coming back to McNabb. He brought me into Jr.Ticats, so those are huge roles. Waterloo, U of Waterloo. Coach Brendan Conway brought me in there. He's another huge mentor of mine. I'm trying to think of all my jobs right now. And I actually, it's totally off topic, I work at a dairy farm as well.
What?
I know. Through a co-coach of mine, so his name's Will Lowith. It's his family farm. It's in Hamilton. It's called Summit Station Dairy, and they kind of have a huge love for football as well, and they actually have one of their shirts that says Oski Moo Moo on it. And I wear it all the time. I'll get you one. I wear it all the time too. Both I like Thaiat games, practices, like at the farm. But I actually coached with their son Will. I played touch football with him. So I'm working at a dairy farm too, and it's funny, people recognize me at all my jobs from other jobs. But yeah, I got a wide background of a lot of different things, and I've helped volunteer with other sports at my high school, and I'm just a helping hand wherever I can be.
What we need you to do is just take a little clip of everything you've just listed there on this podcast, on the Sportsline Podcast, put it on your resume tape, and folks, that's why she is going to get somewhere. Because sometimes that's what we got to do to get to where I understand that being in this business, right? I came into television. We didn't finish school and then all of a sudden say, looking for sportscaster in the newspaper, right? You got to grind it out and do different things. And sometimes your friends have long bypassed you in their career and you're still grinding.
I'm
right?
grinding. And like I try to make as many connections as I can. And that's something I find is really important in this industry. And I pursued college for my career. I took sport management, like I said, and half of my college career was online, which was really tough for me, but I just knew that going through LinkedIn, Instagram, emailing, I made a lot of connections in the industry. And even last week, I was reaching out to Marcellus Bowman, the strength coach at Ticats, who I've been affiliated with through Jr.Ticats because his son played, and I believe he also plays at Soccer World now too. And he's been trying to get me into some of the team workouts and be involved with the team, even though I'm not one of their coaches. And I think that's the most important thing you can do when you're trying to grow in your career. So,
well, let's take the opportunity here, because the season is over. Your first season was over, big success, to talk about the second year. How, obviously, and hopefully, there's a lot of women out there that have all of a sudden been turned on about this and say, I want to play tackle football. How do they get in contact? How do they get involved? I think that's really important. Don't be shy.
Oh, for sure. So I use my Instagram platform a lot. I have a personal account and my coaching account, Coach Sierra McPhail. You can reach out to me on Instagram. We have a 19U Women's Junior Ticat account, so I also run that as well. I have my email. I think it's 19U womensjuniorticats.com. But yeah, it's very easy to find us on Instagram, Facebook. We're under the HFA Junior Ticats, so they promote all of our women's stuff as well. And then, like I said, you can catch me on the sidelines of Thaiat games. Just yell my name. But yeah, I'm pretty easy to reach out to, and I'm very local, like I said, in the community, where a lot of coaches and teachers from other high schools know me. When recruiting for this team, I've gone out in the community, talked to teachers in schools, and I would like to say I'm a pretty well-known name in like this industry, so I would say I'm pretty easy to reach out to for sure.
Well, I'm going to wish you good luck, and I hope you reach the mountain, the top of the mountaintop, because you've put in the work. You continue to put in the work, and you've been a great example and a great leader. And you talked about that off the very beginning, and now I understand why.
Thank you.
So you're going to make it, and I'm looking forward to saying that you were once on the Sportsline Podcast.
I was. This was a huge moment. We were kind of nervous sitting in the waiting room, but this is our third thing that we've done so far this season. Like, we had Danielle from CHCH come out and talk to us. She coached with us a little bit, which was really fun in our preseason camp, and then we were just in a spectator as well. So this was really exciting to come on to your show as well.
Trini, good luck to you too. Keep playing ball. I love it. I love it. Keep getting into the end zone.
You're going to catch her running full field return touchdowns again next season.
Well, I look forward to doing the highlights.
For sure.
Wonderful job, ladies.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oscar wee wee.
Oscar wee wee.
All right, folks, that's your Sportsline Podcast for the day. And if you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline Podcast, we want to hear from you. Please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. And if you have something to say, we always appreciate your positive and negative comments. For the outstanding people that make the Sportsline Podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you tomorrow.